So there's this giant panda statue, double panda statue, way bigger than I thought it was. But if we go around the back of it, we can see that it is curved. So we're gonna test it. Okay, so this thing was hard to get dead on, perfectly level, but hopefully this recording looks good. But here we go. We got our little ship, and it is on our Earth, sailing away. It's disappearing bottom up. That's weird. Okay, so let's go sideways. So that's weird. Looks like it disappeared bottom up. So now we're going to test it on my flat table. I'm using the endoscope because it's going to get as close to the table as humanly possible. And as we slide the boat away, look at it shrinking in angular size, but the bottom of the boat is not vanishing first. You see how you can still see the big black section? I can see the copper section on my big monitor. When I zoom in with the low quality of the endoscope, it fuzzies it out. I could use a higher quality camera, but I wouldn't be able to get as close to the table as possible. So now let's go ahead and look at a real boat video and compare it to these two. I highly doubt any flat earther made it this far, but if you did, why does the curved surface match reality and the flat surface doesn't? So I keep hearing flat earthers talk about how things vanish bottom up due to perspective and convergence. So we're gonna test something today. Again, I have this Lego tower that cost me all of like 5 cents to make. I'm gonna put it over there, use my camera and go way over there and zoom in and see how far I have to go for the bottom of this thing to start converging to nothingness, but the top of it to still be clear as day to see. So for a good measurement point, I came out to where this thing is, and this is like the first divot in the bridge design. There's the camera. We're going to see what happens when we zoom into that. So Google has us at 246 feet. I'm going to speed these videos up to 200% speed to save a little time, but here we can resolve the entire thing. So that was pretty far. We're now at this second divot point. Let's see, over there. We'll zoom in and see. So it looks like now we're sitting at about 474 feet. It looks like we can still make out that there's a green bottom and then blue at this distance. Okay, so now we're at this third divot point. You can see it's way down there. And there's the camera, and we'll see what happens. So it looks like we're sitting at about 704 feet. So here's where distortion starts to get crazy because of the hot concrete. I feel like you can still resolve some green at the bottom there, but use your best judgment. I'm not telling you what you're seeing. Okay, last video. I don't know how well this is going to work because it's pretty far away, but we're at the very end of the bridge, aiming that way. This puts us right near 936 feet. I honestly feel like this biker saw me filming and decided to just keep swerving back and forth in front of me. So with the observation, even though there is a lot of distortion, I still feel like we're seeing a lot of it. I don't think it's disappearing bottom up. I think it is appearing to be invisible, but we're definitely not seeing the bottom half vanish, but the top half still clear to resolve like we do in real long distance observations. So with this silly little test, it looks like with distance, we didn't make something disappear from the bottom up like we see with long distance observations. What we did see was the atmosphere make almost the entire thing really difficult to resolve. Take that knowledge, do with it what you want, but I think everybody should go out, test some stuff, try everything themselves. So Flat Earth taught me perspective, and how everything shrinks as it gets farther away. So they taught us that the sun disappears bottom up because of perspective, and it's going farther away, and the farther things get, they disappear bottom up. Ships disappear from the bottom up because they get farther away due to perspective. Things disappear bottom up. So we're going to try a little experiment. I know some people don't like that word, but they can screw themselves. I've got the Globe Killer 9000 here and a boat taped to some fishing line on a tripod. This is what the boat looks like. Little 3D printed ship. We got copper, black, and white on there, and we're gonna move this out of perspective and see what happens. Okay, so here's our first observation. It's right there. You can see the tripod. I can barely make the ship out. We'll zoom in. So there it is. It didn't disappear bottom up. Maybe it's too close. It hasn't moved far enough out of our perspective to zoom it back in and have it missing bottom up. So we got to move it farther. So I've moved it twice as far. You can make the tripod out still, barely. But let's zoom it in now.
Enhance. Enhance. Enhance.
There we go. No, it still hasn't disappeared bottom up. Struggling to focus. So let's try moving it twice as far as this. See, we're pretty far away. Okay, so here we go. I can see the tripod only because it's on a tan background. Can't see it at all in here. But let's zoom in and see what we get. Okay, so it didn't disappear from the bottom up again. But I've been told multiple times that perspective makes things disappear bottom up. So yeah, I guess that's not true. So I wonder what could be hiding the bottom of ships. So after all of that testing, I guess we'll never know what's obscuring the bottom of those objects. We'll just have to assume it's perspective. What's going on, everyone? So before we start, I want to give a sincere thank you to Gene Techman for giving me some of the best laughs I've had all week so far, and for unknowingly contributing to the fight against misinformation. You're doing a great job. So here, Gene was having a conversation with somebody in a comment section of a video I made, and he says, angular resolution says that the bottom is going to disappear first. Look into it. Easy stuff, bub. So let's look into it. Due to angular resolution, do objects disappear from the bottom first? No. The concept of angular resolution doesn't suggest that objects appear from the bottom first. It does describe the ability to distinguish between two objects. So there's your first answer. This is from Google. This is Google AI Overview. You could go to Science Direct or Wikipedia and read up more about it. But hey, maybe Google AI is in on the conspiracy. So here we go. ChatGPT 4. Can angular resolution cause objects I can't spell right to disappear from the bottom first, like a boat or a building in the distance? No, angular resolution alone cannot cause objects to disappear from the bottom up, like you see with distant boats or buildings. But you know what? Maybe ChatGPT is in on it too. So let's try Microsoft Copilot. Can angular resolution cause objects, I copy and pasted, so the spelling's still off, to disappear from the bottom first? Great question, blah, blah, blah. Earth's curvature is the primary cause. That's interesting. The main reason why objects disappear. Here's where it says about angular resolution. Refer to small angles over which details cannot be, or can be distinguished by the eye or an optical image. It can contribute to the disappearance of small details. However, angular resolution would cause the entire object to blur or vanish uniformly. So here's our choices. Either everyone who studies, builds, measures, and works with optics or physics is wrong, or Gene Techman's wrong. I'll let you decide. Okay guys, so today we're debunking the globe. This is the nail in the coffin. We've got our boat here. We've got the camera here showing it. And we're gonna show you something that'll blow your mind. Because what I'm about to show you is against everything that Globers want you to believe. So as we move the boat farther, this is really hard to do smoothly. So as we move the boat farther away from the camera, you can see that it shrinks in angular size. Now Globers will tell you that as the object's moving away, it disappears bottom up because it's going over some magical curve. That's right, according to globe science, they want you to believe that we're on a giant spinning ball, and that's just not it. So you see that? The boat's gone.
It's disappeared over the curve, as Globers would say. But realistically, if we just zoom in, the boat's right there. It's not over some magical Earth curve, but Globers will have you believe it is, no matter how far away we get it. So I don't know if you guys can see it. I'll know when I edit this. It's gone over the Earth curve. Globers want us to believe that, and they'll fight that to the death. But once we zoom in, there it is. We can see it almost clear as day, but it won't focus. Oh, there we go. So you can see it perfectly fine once we zoom in. It didn't go over this magical curve that Globers want you to believe in.
So it was just out of our angular retrospective. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk and debunking the globe once and for all.
What's going on, everyone? So Rip, one of the few flat earthers who actually tries to test stuff out, showed this weird zoom trick on TikTok Live the other day. He had this little bobblehead looking thing at the far end of his counter. You couldn't see it at first, but then when he zoomed his camera in, boom, there it was. Crazy, I know, right? So I had to test it myself. I put this little 3D printed chip at the end of my flat non-topographical table. I couldn't see it at all through the P950's monitor, but when I zoomed in, even though it looked really odd and a bit out of focus, I could see the whole thing, just like Rip said. Now, any real truth seeker isn't going to just stop it. Oh, look, I zoomed it in over the fake curve. That's pretty damn lazy. Now, I'm not a smart person. I'm not camera savvy at all. I wanted to figure out why this is happening. What's really going on here? Is it the optics, perspective, something else? So I decided to dig deeper. I took my camera outside and did this. Okay, so I've got the camera zoomed in at about 2,000 millimeters. You can see this guy's antenna. It's on a roof way over there. But watch this. I zoom out and you get it, and then a ton of my screen is super obstructed. And that's because I put tape on it. Now, in extreme layman's terms, see how the camera lens is here and it's using up that whole thing. But when I zoom out, it's backing up and it's just narrowing the field of view drastically. So it's not looking through the bottom or top of the lens now. It's looking more towards the center. And that's what happens as you zoom in more. So that is the idiot's guide to how a camera works. And I'm not very smart.
Okay guys, I finally made a flat earth observation like a flat earther. So you see that thing there, my finger's kind of pointing at? That is a parking structure that's about 15 feet high. And I can only see it when I zoom in. And when I zoom out, I can't see it anymore. And Globe Donuts would say it's because of the earth curve hiding it. But it's really because of perspective and convergence. And if you look, I mean, this thing, let's see, it's 1, 2, about 3 hands high. So that's like a 15-inch observer height. And that mountain's 50, we'll say 50 miles away. And I can only see that parking awning thing when I zoom in with the P950 Globe Killer because it's perspective and convergence. But the Globe Donuts will tell you it's because of Earth curve, even though I'm only 15-inch observer height. What's going on? So I'm traveling today. I'm down in Tucson, Arizona, and saw the mountain, Mount Lemmon, and I'm just under 20 miles away from it, but I can still see it. And according to Google, as a 6'2" person, I should only see about 3 miles, just over 3 miles. Well, that's 20 miles away, and I can see it. And you can verify my numbers. I'm in a Culver's parking lot. There's a Discount Tire, a Dutch Bros, Spring Hill Suites. Looks like U of A Tech Park, a Mod Pizza. So you can figure out where I'm at. Duval and, I can't read that, Nightingale or something, Keno. But yeah, 20 miles away and I can see this mountain, even though I should only be able to see 3 miles. I'm just kidding. That is flat earther logic though, where they go, why can I see this massive fucking building from 30 miles away and I'm standing on top of a mountain or some stupid shit like that?
So I'm making a quick video about the Nikon P1000. This was the best camera on the market, known as the Globe Killer. They discontinued it back in, I think, early 2024, mid 2024, because it was the Globe Killer and it let us see too far. And we would always say that, right, flat earthers? P1000, best camera ever. You could see too far. That's why they killed it with 125 optical zoom. What's fun is they're coming out with the P1100. Ooh, it's got the same zoom. So yeah, you flat earthers were wrong yet again. You just didn't wait to see any additional information. You got in your feelers about them canceling the camera that sees too far when they're coming out with the P1100, which has the same zoom soon. But it was just announced, and you can follow the information and look it up. But it goes to show that flat earthers jump the gun on things and do zero research.
What's going on, everyone? So I'm at TJ Maxx and I came across this telescope. Now I heard flat earthers, Gene Techman's one of them, there's a few others that say technology's gone too far, we can see too far. So this Polaroid telescope has a 75 and 150 times magnification. Now correct me if I'm wrong, but the P1000 has 125 times. 150 is more than 125. And check this out. It is $24. So for $24, you could see farther than a P1000. Thank you for coming to my How to Save Money and Prove that the Earth is a Globe TED Talk.